Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of God. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of Lords. His love endures forever. To him who alone does great wonders, his love endures forever. Who by his understandings made the heavens, his love endures forever. Who spread out the earth upon the waters, his love endures forever. Who made the great lights, his love endures forever. The sun to govern the day, his love endures forever. The moon and stars to govern the night, his love endures forever. To him who struck down the firstborn of Egypt, his love endures forever, and brought Israel out from among them. His love endures forever. With a mighty hand and outstretched arm, his love endures forever. To him who divided the Red Sea asunder, his love endures forever, and brought Israel through the midst of it, his love endures forever. But swept Pharaoh and his army into the Red Sea, his love endures forever. To him who led the people through the desert, his love endures forever.
Amen. And so, Jane, can you tell us a bit? We've just read about God bringing the people of Israel out of Egypt. Can you tell us a bit about how you came to Christ?
How I came to Christ?
Yes.
Well, for me, I suppose it was a bit of a slow progress because it was ongoing. I went to Sunday school from a very early age, 2.5 actually, so I was consumed, it was all around me. I went to Sunday school, we had morning, afternoon, and then church in the evening I went to as well, as I grew older with my friends. And that continued, it was just an ongoing thing, it was what we did. I joined in with the young people's groups, and I went into the Bible class, which was the older youngsters back then in those days, and I had a teacher there, Miss Pryor, and I think she was the one that actually opened up the Gospels and actually showed me what God had done. Until then, it was kind of what you did on a Sunday. Now, as I began to realise that God did it for me, he died for me, he gave himself for me. Why me? I'm no different to anyone else in my family. But he picked me out, and I never understood that. I still don't understand it today, but that's how it happened. And that was when I actually gave my life to Christ.
Amen. And so, how long have you been around Tyndale? Can you remember?
How long have I been around Tyndale? Well, we were at Kerry Baptist Church, as you know, which was in town. And that was the church I started and went on. I was married there. I met George during that time that I was there. And he had been to church as a youngster, a congregationalist, but he wasn't a regular churchgoer. But he always wanted to say, well, let's meet up on Sunday. And I said, well, I go to church Sunday. And Sunday evenings, I said, if you want, you'll have to meet me after church or come to church with me. But he met me after for a while and then came with me. So he started going there as well. And then we got married there. And 5 years later, it was found that we'd already moved by then up into Shinfield Road, because George was working at Leighton Park School. So we lived on the property there, and of course our church at Tyndale was just right opposite almost where we were.
Yeah.
We still continued to go to Kerry because it was just the two of us, and we were quite able to catch the bus because we didn't have a car back then. Nobody had cars much. Not ordinary people didn't. Not back then. You had to be posh or have money, or so we thought then. And from then, we were expecting our first child, Sarah, our daughter. And we decided, well, this isn't going to work. Not going to church on a Sunday with a baby, catching the bus with a pushchair. And pushchairs weren't like they are today, very small and easy to pack up or take the whole thing with the baby in. You had to take everything out of the pushchair and carry it on to the bus. So no, it wasn't practical with the baby. So we decided, well, I think it's time we moved to Tyndale, which was as the first new church was being built. And it was just beginning to be finished. We started going there and we decided, yes, this is the church for us. And we were received in on the first Sunday that the new church opened.
Wow. So that must be 58, I think.
So,
yeah.
So, and then of course we had Sarah in 1959 in the June. And from there on, we've been there ever since.
Wow.
I mean, even though I'm now on my own, I should never go anywhere else. Now is my home church. Although I still remember Carrie. I don't know now that there's many people there that would remember me. Well, probably nobody now. I don't know, but yes, that's the only two churches. So,
well, bless you.
A few years.
Yeah. So, what are the great highs, your joys in Tyndale?
My great.
The great joy.
The great joy.
What is the greatest, the most joyful thing and the saddest thing?
The joyful thing.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it was seeing our daughter, Sarah, marry. She was one of the young people of the church, one of the group, and she married Steve, another young man of the same group, which to us just was kind of a miracle that she'd actually married someone who thought the same way as she did.
Yeah.
And of course, as you know, they became leaders in their own right as they gradually progressed through the church. So that was their greatest joy, watching Sarah and Steve marry. The saddest was burying our son. Yes, that was the saddest day. But
Mark,
yes. Mark. Yes, he was 44 and had a bad illness which he'd had for a few years. He knew it was incurable back then. By now he would have had new lungs and probably a new heart if it had been around now, but back then it was not possible. So yes, so he died in 2005. Yes, 2005. My sister died in 2006, and then George died in 2007. So
wow.
yes, 3 years were
3
quite
years of
traumatic.
trauma. Yeah. Oh, bless you.
That's life, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, and such a joy and a privilege to have you in the congregation. Sadly, we can't meet now, so
That is sad, but fortunately, because of technology, we've been able to keep in touch.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's one of the things that's kept me sane. That and my strong belief that God's still in control.
Amen, amen. That's
Other
right.
than that, I think,
yeah.
I think we would have all gone a bit, but
yeah.
it's just that strong belief that God is in control.
Yes.
We don't know how, and we don't know how long, but he has his reasons.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. It's such an encouragement. And I pray that when I get to be, like, I will still hold strong to the faith and yeah.
But I never thought, Sam, I'd reach the age of 89, I must admit. No one in our family has ever, well, yes, no, that's not true. My grandmother's sister, my great aunt, she lived to be 100. But other than that, I've lived all our family. And I still can't believe that, but I still think, well, although I'm not very strong and I've got no balance left and I'm very disabled, but God still has a purpose.
Amen.
I don't understand it, but he does.
Amen. So your reading will be followed by a song, Great is Thy Faithfulness. I think that sums everything.
Oh.
If you tell me to sum up just this meeting and this interview, it's just seeing the faithfulness of God wrapped around you in the 89 years of being around. God bless you. Thank you. Thanks.